First snow hike ever. What could go wrong, right?
Oh, okay.
This is my first ever hike in the snow, and to say I'm excited would be an overstatement, similar to how I'm overdressed for this beautiful disaster, as I make every single rookie snow hiking mistake you can possibly make, and who doesn't want to see that set in the beautiful falling snow of an afternoon hike? Along the way, I'm going to explain how this trail got its name, while letting you laugh at me getting lost, getting wet, and having a great time getting it all sorted out in the end. Let's go hiking. Before we get to see me fall on camera, let's first introduce the trail and go over the trail stats. The Superior Hiking Trail and the Stovetop Upper Burner Loop is located in Duluth, Minnesota. This loop-style trail is about 1.7 miles or 2.7 kilometers with roughly 213 feet or about 65 meters of elevation gain. So it's got a nice little up to it. It's a nice little up and down, especially for someone who's used to hiking in North Georgia. All Trails has it rated as easy, and I, of course, managed to make it moderate to slightly challenging in the snow. There's plenty of parking at the trailhead. It's super easy to find, and soon you'll hear the traffic from Haynes Road just fading in the background as you start out on the trail. As everyone knows, those blue blazes are, of course, the SHT, so it's sort of a combo trail. It's a lollipop trail, and yes, I know, it's a lollipop loop trail. How did you manage to get lost? I did. That's just what I did. I managed to get lost. So, quick side note, these lichen are thriving and you'll see them all over the trees, and apparently this is a sign of good air quality. So nice to see that when you're out on the trail. And you're probably gonna see a lot of stuff like this, like, what is he doing? Why is he filming himself stepping in the snow and seems so fascinated? It's my first hike in the snow. All this stuff is new to me, so I decided to stick a camera in this hole, see if there's any critters in there, like staying warm. Spoiler, there's not. And yeah, I just, it's all new to me. So I'm very fascinated by this snow hike. So get ready to watch the mistakes roll in.
There might not be a sign, but you can clearly see that an animal has crossed the trail there. I'm not sure what that is exactly. I don't know, squirrel, deer. But I guess I can follow the tracks, but we'll keep going.
Spoiler alert, I did not follow the tracks, but if you know what kind of tracks they are, please leave a comment. So the trail we're officially hiking is called the Stovetop Trail, and it's divided into two sections, the Upper Burner and the Lower Burner. It's located in what's called the Piedmont Brewer Recreation Area, which is west of downtown and up on the hill. You're often going to see it listed as a loop with the Superior Hiking Trail because the main SHT corridor runs right through the Piedmont. So hikers commonly will combine the SHT along the ridge with the Upper Burner, and then that creates a loop instead of an out and back trail. The name Stovetop, it comes directly from the terrain. This section of the trail crosses exposed bedrock knobs and domes made of dark basalt. Can't you see it? Don't you see all the dark basalt? Yeah, I can only imagine this trail must look wildly different once the snow is melted. So, in the summer, those flat rock surfaces absorb the sun and get surprisingly hot. And it's so hot that early trail users started calling the area the stovetop. The broad, flat rock tops also resemble the surface of a stove before you drop in steeply down the sides. I will say all this information is just from my research, so if you have any corrections, please leave a comment. I'm not saying that I'm mostly sure this is correct. I'm not 100% sure. But once the stovetop name stuck, the trail builders leaned into the kitchen theme. So the upper burner refers to the higher northern section of the trail, while the lower burner sits farther downslope to the south. One reason this trail confuses people is that it wasn't originally built as a hiking trail. And I felt that when I was walking on it, and you can kind of see it. There's definitely, there's berms, right? So, of course, a berm is not necessary for a hiker. I mean, I don't know, maybe you hike really fast and you need a berm. But as you can see, even in the snow, Stovetop and Upper Burner were designed primarily as technical mountain bike single track. Because the Superior Hiking Trail passes through the same corridor, hikers ended up using a trail that feels much more rugged and hands-on than nearby sections of the main SHT. So, while it connects with the Superior hiking trail, Stovetop and Upper Burner and Lower Burner is really more of a rocky, old-school Piedmont trail named for the sun-baked bedrock and a little bit of trail builder humor. If there's anything that I've missed in regards to the history of the trail or the naming of the trail, feel free to leave a comment. You can see it right here. You can see the groom section. These blue blazes are obviously the SHT, or the Superior Hiking Trail. This reminded me a lot of home, though, as I started to climb an elevation. But we're getting close to where I start to make some of my rookie snow hiking mistakes. So let's take a moment to just enjoy watching me fall in the snow. Woo. All right, let's go up, up, up. Oh, okay. Okay, I fell. Whee! Good times.
A nice little tumble there. Nothing too crazy, but you know, this is like the first time I've ever hiked in snow like this. So this is all a learning experience. But yeah, I went down all the way down. I mean, I wasn't gonna go too far, but yeah, that's my first fall. I'll keep it up.
And there it was, as promised, I fall. Nothing dramatic, no injuries, just a solid reminder that gravity works just fine in the winter. Maybe some trekking poles or better traction or slowing down another notch would have helped. And again, this is not winter's fault, it's me moving like it's October. There are some absolutely stunning views when you get to the top of this hike. So just absolutely beautiful views of the St. Louis River and just Duluth basically below. You can even see all the way across to Wisconsin. I would say it's probably around this part where my second mistake kicked in at a little bit, and this one is something I sort of did right/wrong. So it was in the teens when I went hiking, and I was staying very warm. In fact, possibly too warm. I had on a wool base layer, snow pants, long sleeve t-shirt that turned out to be suspiciously good at trapping heat. Then on top of that, I added a heated vest and my super warm Sonos jacket, gloves, a balaclava, a beanie, the full winter catalog. Right, so I was not cold at all. In fact, I was too warm. So as I started hiking in the snow, stop me if you've heard this one, I started warming up too much, and even with the temperature down in the teens, I started sweating, I got warm fast, and you know, I had to unzip the vest and the jacket while hiking. Again, totally on me. I was never in any actual danger of hypothermia, but definitely a quick lesson learned where I was actually starting to feel wet. It was a lot of fun though. Again, 10 of 10 would hike in the snow again, will hike in the snow again, even with all of my rookie mistakes. I really had a good time. But it is just something to be aware of. Maybe start off my next hike a little more cold and be okay with that, and then sort of warm up as I get going. Oh look, the heated vest works though. I was very toasty, and I'm sure you're all laughing and you're probably saying, you're not from Minnesota or the Northland, and clearly, no, I'm not. But I'm getting acclimated just as fast as I can, and I'm having a great time exploring everything. Another thing I noticed about my first winter hike was just how, I don't think exhausting is the right word, but just how much exertion there was. I remember at one point I looked at all trails to see how far I had gone, and it was only 0.7, and I was like, wow, I feel like I've gone a mile and a half. So I'm sure all you people that are used to hiking in the snow are like, yeah, of course. But yeah, you really felt it. Like there was a huge difference in my sort of stamina. We are coming up on the second overlook, and it's absolutely beautiful. So yeah, for sure, this is a Tazumi Woods approved hike.
All right, yeah, this is wow.
I feel like a kid at Christmas. I mean, for a snow hike in the teens, it just could not been any better, even with the mistakes. I mean, the snow was lightly falling. It was just so beautiful. Even the treacherous parts, like what's coming up now.
Look at this. Oh boy. Now we're testing out my spikes, I guess. It's going fine. I've already fallen once. Why it's another fall?
Okay, maybe treacherous was a slight exaggeration. I might have slipped and fallen barely, but no, I didn't fall here. It was fine. All right, you're going to notice some intersection and some crossroads. You're going to want to pay attention to your map, which may be in your pocket and not necessarily in your hand where you're looking at it. My first getting off trail mistake is here. I accidentally go straight where I should have taken a right, but I don't stay off the trail for more than like 20 yards to get this one sorted out pretty quickly.
I think I'm going the right way now. Almost took a wrong turn there in the snow. Everything kind of looks the same, but that's why I have a map. Looks like I am heading to share the road with a bike. Very cool.
Here's the berm I mentioned earlier for the mountain biking. I wasn't hiking that fast this time, so I didn't need a berm in this snow hike.
I don't know, I find it fascinating, this random piece of just snow.
I think you can see why it's easy to get lost on a snow trail. I mean, everything kind of does white out, and this is even with having a map and a GPS, and you can see it. I still get lost, not once, but twice. I'm an experienced hiker, although this is my first snow hike, but it was definitely kind of a nice wake-up experience, or definitely something to be cautious about. I was never in any actual danger, right? If I hiked one way, I'm going to run into the city of Duluth. If I hike the other way, I'm going to run into Haynes Road, which is where I was parked. So I was never really lost, if that makes sense. But as you see, I just had to turn around, and here I am moseying back to the trailhead. Again, wonderful experience for my first snow hike. Can't wait to do it again. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of snow hiking, and we'll see everybody out there hiking in the woods. Bye-bye, y'all.